we're going to take a deeper look at what these three terms and levels mean and how they apply to our practice, more particularly to our worldwide pandemic. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa and I am a therapist based in the state of California. If you're new here, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button as I post content weekly, actually 2 times a week, every single Wednesday and Sunday. Subscribing to my channel really helps me putting out content and to the community about mental health and also information to those that are interested in the mental health and behavioral health field. So please subscribe and share these videos with your loved ones. Today we are going to be talking about 3 different levels of assistance when providing mental health or behavioral health services. And those 3 levels include the micro level, the mezzo level, and the macro level. Now these may seem like foreign terms to you, or if you are in social work or you've worked in social services or have been to social work school, then you understand exactly what they mean. We're going to take a deeper look at what these 3 terms and levels mean and how they apply to our practice, more particularly to our worldwide pandemic. So if that's something that you're interested in finding more out about, how you can help in your own capacity or in a capacity that you're passionate about, then stay tuned. So the first level that we're going to talk about is the micro level. So the micro level is really at the level that a lot of clinicians work at. And what that means really is you are doing one-on-one care with a client or a patient, if that's how you refer to the people that you work with. So people that really work in this micro capacity are people that provide direct therapy, usually nurses or doctors that provide one-on-one patient care to the person that they're treating, things of that sort. If you think about the micro level in terms of the pandemic and COVID, again, you can think of a staff member providing individual clinical care to a COVID patient, or a therapist providing one-on-one direct therapy to a client who is dealing with the loss of a loved one to COVID. Now, if we're looking at the mezzo level is right in between the micro and the macro level. So you can make an assumption of the mezzo level being just that, in between, working in the middle of one-on-one capacity versus a policy big capacity. So usually when we're thinking about mezzo, we're thinking about a group of people that we're working with. So if we're going to use an example for mezzo, you can think of being a therapist facilitating a support group of maybe 5 to 6 people. So this is different from a micro perspective. As you can imagine, that micro again is really assisting and providing services on a one-on-one basis, as opposed to mezzo, again, more in between the macro and the micro. And so we can think of mezzo services during the state of this pandemic as a therapist providing grief and loss therapy to a support group of 7 people that have lost a family member to COVID. Lastly is the macro level. The macro level, just as it sounds, and as we have kind of spoken about in some of my previous videos, is a more policy, bigger picture sort of level. Capacity that you normally work in a macro level is somebody that, say, wants to, again, make policies and set priorities for communities, really. So you can think of either a politician or an administrator for a big program. Now, if you remember in my previous video with Dr. Leonard Abaduto.
First and foremost, we're kind of a research institute, so we have a number of research programs. We also have an outpatient clinical program.
He works as the director at the Mind Institute. And so the capacity that he works in is providing administrative services, overseeing the facilitation of a large organization, along with creating policy and making sure that the program is running well. Likewise, in one of my other videos, you saw my interview with Mr. Stephen Torrance.
At the root of it, emergencies are about humanity, and we have to always make sure that we're tending to that.
Who works for the Emergency Operations Center in the city of Santa Monica, and he works in a more macro level as opposed to providing direct one-on-one care. He oversees the emergency services in the city and operates under that function. So if we're thinking about how macro level applies to the pandemic, then you can think of somebody that is creating policies for social distancing, and somebody that is creating legislation for different types of issues or things of that nature going on in this pandemic. So based on the explanations and the descriptions that I gave you of the three levels of care, again, micro, mezzo, or macro, you can make a determination of what sounds more appealing to you. And in mental health and behavioral health sciences, there are these three levels that exist really in all capacities. So if that's something that you're interested in, then really take a look of what you enjoy doing. Do you enjoy providing direct therapy one-on-one? Do you enjoy talking to somebody just one-on-one and being there to support them? Or do you prefer to be with a group of people and support the group of people? The same thing goes with the macro side of things. Do you prefer to be an administrator or a policy maker? These are things to keep in mind when you are thinking about what role you want to play or what level you would be best in. Now, another side of things is you can also use these levels interchangeably or simultaneously even. An example of that is I am a therapist, so I provide direct one-on-one therapy, but I also am a group facilitator as I facilitate a support group. So the one-on-one therapy is me and my micro capacity. And then when I'm doing the support group, I am under the mezzo category or the mezzo level. And something new that I actually added is I've mentioned that I am going to school for my PhD currently, and I'm hoping to do more research about grief and specifics of grief in this pandemic and really apply that research to those that have been impacted and affected. And so that goes more on a macro level because I'm using that knowledge, hoping that it will somehow help those in the micro level. So you can actually do all three if that's something that you desire. Most people prefer just to do one or may not be excited about another, or some people may be interested in two or all of them, like I mentioned. And so again, it's about finding what works for you. So I hope that helped you in kind of thinking about what level you're interested in, or levels if you're interested in multiple. Again, there's the micro, mezzo, and macro. In any event, I hope that you enjoyed watching this video and you found it helpful. If you are in the mental health or behavioral health field, please leave in the comment section below what level you work in, even if that's multiple levels, or if you are not and you're interested in learning more, have questions, please also leave those questions in the comment section below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Again, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more content. But until next time, managing mental health matters.